Jim Jones of NBC? Oh, is he here? Oh, the guy says, Mr. President, what about this? What about that? What about that? I would like to tell you the following. He's reading the answer, meaning he knows the questions and they write down the answer. He reads the
right, dude.
People are so starving for Trump content, dude.
I want to go to Ty Cobb now, the former Trump White House lawyer. So, Ty, 133 pages, and then you have the three dissents, which I'm trying to work my way through here. From what you've seen, what do you take away?
The Supreme Court has to take this. They can stay the dates in Colorado. They'll move expeditiously. You know, the real key issue in this case is Trump an officer of the United States in the context in which that term is used in Article 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Right.
And in 2010, you know, Chief Justice Roberts explained in Free Enterprise that people don't vote for officers of the United States. Article 2, officers of the United States, is commonly understood in the Constitution to refer to appointed officials. So I think this case will be handled quickly. I think it could be 9-0 in the Supreme Court for Trump.
And can I just say, Ty, that would be, I mean, I had to emphasize, I don't ever like talking about who appointed whom because you like to just believe in the impartiality of justice. But nonetheless, it has become important. So, because Trump's already.
Shut the up. The impartiality of justice? What the
They didn't all rule against you.
Why are you defending the Supreme Court under the false notion of impartiality?
We're looking into the distance here.
God, I hate
but
liberals.
If you're looking at 9-0, that would sure be a statement.
At least conservatives are honest. At least conservatives are honest. They're honest about their pervertry. They're honest about their racism. They're literally like, no, dog, I'm court packing. And then they simultaneously say Democrats are court packing, but they're doing it too. It's like, I hate liberals, man.
I was on a panel with Professor Ballot at the University of Chicago Institute of Politics discussing this, and heard his views, and his scholarship is excellent. On the other hand, there are multiple competing scholars who disagree and highlight the point that I just made about the multiple Supreme Court decisions.
Bro, Trump fell off hard. 18K Andy, bro, he fell off worse than me.
Not conclude that officers, as used in the context, include the president or the vice president. The Supreme Court, though, will not hesitate to move quickly on this. They know what the stakes are. They know what their responsibility is.
You know, what do you think? As he walks out there, is this something he sees as basically a win in a certain sense?
Oh, totally. Oh, totally. This vindicates his insistence that this is a political conspiracy to interfere with the election, and that that he's the target and people shouldn't tolerate that in America. It's doodah, but that's the way he tries to sell this. Now the reality is he committed these crimes in 2021.
Crooked Joe Biden is a low IQ individual. He is truly the worst, most incompetent, and most corrupt president in the history of our country. Other than that, I think quite a bit of him. Can you believe what's going on in our country? Can you believe what's going on with the border? You watch.
My mom is laughing at Trump's
doesn't want to show
bits.
it too much, certain of them. And I will tell you what's going on in our border.
She loved the most corrupt. Other than that, I think quite a bit of him.
They are. Not one thing has gotten better under Crooked Joe Biden. Under the Trump administration, you were better off. Your family was better off. Your neighbors were better off. And our country was better off. As soon as I get back in the Oval Office, I'll also immediately end the war on Christians. I don't know if you feel that. You have a war. This is a war. Under Crooked Joe Biden, Christians and Americans of faith are being persecuted, and government has been weaponized against religion like never before, and also presidents like never before. Here I am. I always say Al Capone was treated better than I was treated. Scarface, Al Capone, he was a tough one. Biden and his corrupt Department of Injustice have sent SWAT teams to arrest pro-life activists. They've targeted conservative parents at school board meetings who don't want filth taught to their children. It's filth. What they're teaching in schools is filth. But they're being targeted. And now the communists, Marxists, and fascists are going hard after Catholics, even plotting to send spies into Catholic churches. It's all come out.
They've even made the Pope gay, folks.
Days gone by.
They
Now, think of
even
it.
sent
If
an
you're Catholic, why
infiltrator
would
to
you
the
vote
Pope.
for a Democrat? What they're doing to Catholics. I don't know what's going on with the Catholics, but they're really being persecuted. And, you know, evangelicals will not be far behind, because when that starts, it starts happening on a very major scale. Upon taking office, I will create a new federal task force on fighting anti-Christian bias, to be led by a fully reformed Department of Justice that's fair and equitable.
He's gonna
Its
prosecute
mission will be to
anti-Christian bias. Let's
investigate
go.
all
I'm
forms
going
of
to jail.
illegal discrimination, harassment, and persecution against Christians in America.
I'm literally going to jail.
Christians
If Trump
in
becomes
America.
president and he follows
Can
through on this,
believe
which he
all
probably
this
won't
stuff.
be able to, but if he
It's
did,
not
I would go to jail
believable, is it?
so
But
quick.
it is fact.
Because this is
It's
like
just
anti-white
so many
bias,
of the other things when I
anti-white
stand up and I say
discrimination.
defend
I'm
it
not gonna lie,
100%.
like
When Joe-
at that point, obviously I'd leave the country. Like I probably wouldn't
Of
stay
Jesus
here if I
Christ.
was gonna go to jail.
do.
You know, I'd go to a Western nation that doesn't have an extradition policy to the United States of America, like Israel.
When I was president, we brought back the beautiful phrase "Merry Christmas," and
Yeah,
I
he
said
did.
I'd do that. I'm very proud
Dude,
of that.
no one
actually,
was saying
because,
it
as I said
before
at the
him.
beginning, that was really under siege. And when I
No
lit
one
the
was saying Merry
Christmas
Christmas
tree
for me. He
each
brought
year,
it back.
It was my honor
That's true.
to publicly celebrate the true source of Christmas joy, which is Jesus Christ. I stood up for religious liberty at home and all around the world.
He literally did a Muslim
Innocent life, and I defended the Judeo-Christian values of our nation's founding. I proudly recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem, which is a big thing. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, and you know they were looking to get that for
What?
72 years.
Nobody
They'd
even
fly
clapped for
in,
that.
they'd
They're like,
fly
what?
out,
What is the
they'd fly
Golan
in,
Heights?
Every year they'd fly in, they'd discuss it, they'd fly out, and I got it done in about 12 minutes. We got it done very quickly. And with the historic Abraham Accords, I even made peace in the Middle East. Unfortunately, they haven't taken it any further. It should have been taken. We could have had everybody signed up.
Dude,
They spend
isn't it funny? Look, I love Fango Lives, right? Great chatter. We have our disagreements. But, like, we've been watching Donald Trump for the past 30 minutes, 40 minutes, almost an hour. And to think that this man, according to Fango, is just as bad mentally as Joe Biden is so crazy. He isn't saying anything. It doesn't matter. If you think that Joe Biden can keep up, if you think Joe Biden could hit these bars and put together a coherent string of sentences back to back to back, regardless of how psychotic it is, you're out of your mind. He literally does all the
Every
time.
time
He would never show it. That is, oh my God, I'm gonna die, bro. Joe Biden literally reads from a paper and does a poor job at it. We watch Joe Biden regularly when he does press meetings. Biden on prompter can't even read. He's like, ugh, like he's literally, it looks like he's squeezing as hard as possible.
We've done more for the state of Iowa than any president ever in history. There's never been a, because when you
Y'all
add it
are
all
hyping
up,
up Trump more than Biden. Most of it's a
Joe.
joke. No, I've said it over and over again. Donald Trump is, of course, going to be worse for the country than Joseph Robinette Biden. The point is, I'm also not delusional and going to act like Joe Biden has like a decent... Joe Biden looks like he has his mental faculties in order. I'm not going to say that because it's not true. You're not voting for Joe Biden. You're voting for stability. You're voting for the Democratic Party. You're voting for business as usual politics when you vote for Joe Biden. You're not like, oh man, Joe Biden is single-handedly changing the course of history. He's not.
But we have a man who's grossly incompetent, and he's talking about nuclear weapons and negotiations. He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking. He can't even find the stairs to get off the stage. All right? There they are. They're all over the place. Jump off the front, but don't walk into the back wall. You ever see that? He finishes a speech, if you call it that. He did a news conference the other day, and he goes,
I mean, he's right.
Okay, let's see. You know, I did news conferences in the White House. You. He did Jim Jones of NBC. Oh, is he here? Oh. The guy says, Mr. President, what about this? What about that? What about that? I would like to tell you the following. He's reading the answer, meaning he knows the questions, and they write down the answer. He reads the answer.
Right, dude.
If I ever did that,
and
they
if
would
you
impeach me.
deny it, you're going to come across like a silly person. You should be endlessly mad at the Democratic Party for literally allowing an avenue attack such as this one to exist as the only guy.
And I will also rescue the ethanol industry by canceling crooked Joe Biden's insane ethanol-killing electric vehicle mandate on day one. Everything has to be electric.
Bro, he's in Iowa. Of course he's pumping ethanol, dude. What are we talking about? It's corn, baby. We're in corn country,
They're
brother.
going to all be voting for Trump because they're going to, this mandate.
We love ethanol, don't we, folks? I would make my child. I'm giving Barron all the ethanol.
Many went to Canada, and the rest went to China. Whatever we have left, it's peanuts compared to what it should have been. But this electric car thing is just crazy. If you want to drive, maybe, let's say you're here. If you say, let's take a drive to beautiful, safe Chicago, it's so safe.
Oh, he's so good. I love when he shits on EVs, even though I have an EV and I like EVs. It's so funny.
You know, it's just crazy. It's these people, and they know it. They know it's crazy. They don't want to even listen to people. Same thing with the trucking industry. They want to have electric trucks. So a truck, a big, beautiful truck, like Peter built or one of them.
It's gonna be
they
gay.
Can go, the big ones. They can go 18-wheelers. They can go about 2,000 miles, they say, 2,000 on a big tank of diesel, and an electric truck comparable, which you can't be comparable because you need so much room for the battery. Most of the area that you're going to carry your goods is going to be battery.
He's right.
But assuming we take away that problem, which is not easy to take away, you'd have to stop approximately 7 times to go 2,000 miles, right? You go about 300 miles, and they don't want to change that.
Megaphonics is so mad.
If I were sitting there and that was explained to me and verified, I would say, of course you're not going to do that. We'll destroy our supply chain. You don't have to be a great expert to know you can't do that. One goes 2,000 miles and the other one goes 300 miles, and you don't have any capacity because half of it's got to be for battery. The batteries are massive. Crooked Joe puts China
I think the funniest part of it, part about it is that he should just be honest and be like, it's because of China that I'm scared of electric vehicles.
He puts everyone first, but he puts America last. He puts Iowa last.
If Donald Trump was a Democrat, he'd be like, China is stealing our lunch money on the electric vehicles, folks. They're dominating it. They're dominating Europe. What I'm going to do is beat China's ass, folks. We're going to make sure China has nothing left. They're going to be going back to the horse and buggy by the time I'm done with them.
For 4 straight years, I kept America safe. I kept Israel safe. I kept Ukraine safe. There was no talk of this. And I kept the entire world safe. A great gentleman, Viktor Orban, Hungary. He's the leader. He's the boss. He's everything you want to call him. He's a tough guy. He's tough, very well. He knows Russia very well. He knows Ukraine very well. They were saying, what do you think is going on with the world? He's just an
incredibly cucked individual.
The world is Trump isn't there anymore.
Worst of both worlds.
What would you suggest?
Cuck the EU
back as president
and also cuck to Russia at the same time.
And you won't have any of these problems. He said when Trump was there, these leaders, China, Russia, all of them, they were afraid of the United States. They feared the United States. They respected him. And I thought it was a nice statement, so I repeat it as often as I can, because I know one thing, the press is not going to repeat it. You know, you might as well repeat it yourself. This is a lesson. Repeat it yourself, because they're not going to be repeating it. Yesterday, we had a single highest day record of illegal border crossings ever recorded, 12,600, one day. We have no idea who any of them are. It's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way. No, they're coming from all over the world, people all over the world. We have no idea. They could be healthy. They could be very unhealthy. They could bring in disease that's going to catch on in our country. But they do bring in crime. But they have them coming from all over the world.
That's exactly why Hitler said it.
Destroying the blood of our country.
That's literally how Hitler said it.
Our country. And we're going to have to get them out. We're going to have to get mass numbers of these, especially the criminals.
Bro, he literally said they're yelling at me because Hitler said it. But also, have you thought maybe he's right without saying those words?
Insane asylum. But I have to say it, they're emptying out the insane asylums from all over the world. Why wouldn't they? I would do it if I were running Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico. They're emptying out their prisons into our country. How stupid are we to allow this to happen? I appreciate everything, and I appreciate all the support we get, because that makes a big difference. When you have poll numbers where we're like literally 80 and 90 points higher in some cases, and some of these guys. We have guys running like from Arkansas. He's been at 0 for 7 months. Ada Hutchinson, I call him Ada. It's Asa. The only reason I corrected is I'll say, he didn't know his name. He didn't know his name. He must be cognitive. Don't forget, I do most of this stuff without teleprompters. They do. Biden. No, if I say Ada Hutchinson, they'll do it anyway. I just gave them an idea. Look, they're starting to write that. They'll say, he didn't know his name. No, it's Asa, but I call him Ada. But this guy he's the governor of Arkansas. He's got the personality of that floor tile. See the tile? There's a broken tile right there. That's about as much personality. And he's a nasty guy. He's got 0 for how many months is he?
By the way, we still don't know why he calls him Ada Hutchinson instead of Asa.
Running, he's at 0.
Have you explained why the Colorado News is liberal propaganda? What do you mean it's liberal propaganda? I mean, it happened, but it doesn't really matter because the Supreme Court is going to yeet that into oblivion.
To give you much better health care, because Obamacare, as you know, is a catastrophe for American families. And as I say, even Elizabeth Warren, who often is referred to as Pocahontas because of her great Indian heritage, but she even agrees that it needs to be fixed. It has to be fixed. It's too expensive for the people. And we're going to get it done. We almost had it done, but then John McCain voted it down. After campaigning for 10 years to kill it, John McCain voted it down. Too bad.
He's still trying to take down Obamacare? That's so dumb.
Good. We're going to make it much less expensive for the people with much, much better health care. You're going to get that, and we deserve it.
Bro, that shit also was not favorable. Not like the only reason why I thought it was John McCain, certainly. But like that shit was not favorable at all.
Insanity and inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. A mask mandate. And as I said before, something that's very popular, I can't believe I have to say it, but I might as well. I will keep men out of women's sports. Is that okay? You see the weightlifting records? They're being broken by hundreds of pounds. One stood for, I think, 18 years.
What are you
What is
he talking about?
They're coming in, they're wiping it out like 158 pounds. So it's just so demeaning to women, the whole thing. I mean, women, great athletes, I mean, it's just so unfair. They're going to have records. They'll have, look, eventually that's got to happen. It's going to happen with me. But you're going to have like these records where the record will be here, but you'll have this blip for a period of 3 or 4 years. Beep. Like that. They're going to say, they'll look back at 100 years, they'll say, what the hell happened there? Who was that? That was one strong woman, wasn't it? To our country.
He's back on his transphobic shit. For a while, he was actually pointing out how weird it was that Republicans cared about trans folks. What are you talking about? I mean, he's got to do a little bit of transphobia. He's still running for the Republican office. It's just like marginal in comparison to how much Ron DeSantis could never shut the fuck up about baby penises and baby vaginas.
We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Iowa. God bless you. Get out and vote. Get out and caucus. Thank you all. Thank you, Front Row Joes. You follow me no matter where I go. We love you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good that we watch this to see what he's on.
Selector scheme.
It's kind of wild that they're also kind of showcasing this on CNN as well. Like, we're kind of back to 2015 again, boys. It's 2015, 2016 again, bros. Okay? That's what's going on. That's what's popping.